outside of auditorium. I request AICT staff to please guide them to their seats. Dr. Abhay Jere, Vice Chairman AICTE, and Professor Shama Rath, Member Secretary AICTE. Distinguished guests, dignitaries, and most importantly, dear students, on behalf of AICTE, Dr. Neetu Bhagat, along with my co-host, Mr. Tarun Kakkar, warmly welcome you all to this very special occasion, celebration of Engineers Day and the launch of Project Practice, Research and Development Cells, Climate Cells, and AICTE Research Internships. Before starting the program, let us invoke the light of knowledge. I request our dignitaries on the dais to kindly join in for the lighting of lamp ceremony as a tribute to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रामृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः सदा सा मा पातु सरस्वती भगवती
Thank you, everyone. Commencing the event with lighting the lamp as the flame burns upwards. It symbolizes our quest for more knowledge and wisdom. It marks an auspicious opening, symbolizing hope and successful beginning of the new projects on Engineers Day 2025. Now, honoring our distinguished guests, I request our chairman, Professor T.G. Sitaram, to felicitate the chief guest of today's event, Dr. Vineet Joshi, Secretary, Department of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, with shawl and sapling. I request Vice Chairman Sir Dr. Abhay Jere to felicitate the guest of honor, Professor R.K. Bhandari, former Director CSIR CBRI. Now I request our Member Secretary, Professor Shama Rath, to felicitate Shri R. Subramaniam, CEO CRISP, with a shawl and a sapling. I request Dr. Swami, Advisor AICT, to kindly felicitate our Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Member Secretary also. Thank you. Indeed, India is poised to embark on a significant transformation named the Decade, where technological advancements and innovations are reshaping the landscape. This era is defined by a robust increase in digital transformation across multiple sectors, significantly boosting productivity and driving economic growth. I request Dr. Abhay Jere, Vice Chairman AICTE and passionate promoter of innovation in education, to deliver the welcome address. Sir.
Namaskar. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all on this momentous occasion where we have gathered to celebrate Engineers Day, commemorating the birth anniversary of one of our greatest engineers and visionary, Bharat Ratna, Shri M. Vishweshwaraya. His life and his contribution continues to inspire all engineers to dedicate themselves to nation building with integrity, innovation, and excellence. I am personally very inspired by his quote, which says, and it's a very interesting quote, that progress of the country depends upon mainly the education of its people. Without education, it is just a nation of children. So, on such a important day, it is my proud privilege, sir, to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Shri Vineet Joshi ji, who is an IS and Secretary Department of Higher Education. Sir, we are truly honored by your gracious presence at this day, as you are an engineer yourself from one of the most prestigious institute, which is IIT Kanpur. You are a BTech mechanical engineer. And then you hold, I'm told you hold a gold medal for your MBA also. And you have a PhD in quality management. So there cannot be a better person than you, sir, to grace this occasion. Also, Vineet Joshi ji. Vineet Joshi ji is one of the great contributors to education ecosystem because he was chairman of CBSE as well as DG for NTA. So, sir, there cannot be, as I said, better person than you for us to actually celebrate this entire occasion. I am also equally delighted to welcome our guest of honor, Professor R.K. Bhandari, former director, CSIR CBRI, whose presence add immense value to this occasion. I also warmly welcome Shri R. Subramaniam, retired IAS officer and former secretary for Department of Higher Education, who is also now the founder and CEO for CRISP, with whom we are collaborating to launch the practice program, which we will be launching soon. But I don't know, many of you might not be aware that when NEP or National Education Policy 2020 was getting formulated, he was the secretary at that time. And the draft document which you see, or the document, or the approved policy which you see, has a huge impact of Subramaniam sir on it. For me personally, he is a guru, and whenever I am in trouble, I call him actually for some kind of an advice. I also digitally welcome Dr. Hemant Kakaria, founder of Makers Bhavan Foundation. I think he has joined us online. I also extend, because we are the host, so I also extend welcome to Professor T.G. Sitaram, Chairman AICTE, and Professor Shama Rath, Member Secretary AICTE. Friends, today, apart from celebration of Engineers Day, we will be also launching few programs. And one of the important programs which we are going to launch is Practice Initiative. It is project for advancing critical thinking, industrial connect, and employability. This project is in collaboration with AICTE, CRISP, Maker Bhavan Foundation, and LEAP. Shri Subramaniam sir will talk about it in more detail when he will give presentation about the CRISP program. But practice program. But I am confident that practice will immensely support us. This program, this initiative will be a real landmark project in realizing the dream of Vikasit Bharat. So finally I take this opportunity to welcome all dignitaries, education leaders, industry partners, professionals, faculty members, students, our guests from print and television media who have joined us today. Your presence reinforces our collective commitment to empowering the next generation of engineers. Let us remember, friends, engineering is not about building bridges or developing digital platforms or machines. It is about building our future together. So together, we are laying the foundation of stronger, more skilled, more innovative India, which we all will make our Bharat Atmanirbhar. So thank you very much. Once again, welcome to all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. Engineers are not just builders of structures. They are builders of future. We celebrate Engineers Day on the birth anniversary of a legendary engineer whose contribution to nation building, from developing irrigation system to laying the foundation of India's industrial growth, was a force for societal transformation. Dr. Sir M. Vishwesaraya. To mark Engineers Day, I invite an exceptional engineer, scientist, and academician whose leadership at AICTE is reshaping the technical education in India by promoting research and innovation, multidisciplinary education, industry-aligned curricula, skill development, faculty training, and industry-academia collaboration. He has championed inclusive education through regional languages and sustainability initiatives, making our education future ready. I invite Honorable Chairman AICTE, Professor T.G. Sitaram, to share his vision with us.
Happy Engineers Day to every one of you. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Vineet Joshi ji, Secretary Higher Education, Ministry of Education, Government of India. Guest of Honor, Professor R.K. Bandhari, former Director, CSIR, CBRI, and also my mentor. Shri R. Subramaniam, Founder and CEO, CRISP, and former Secretary Higher Education, Government of India. Dr. Hemant Kanakia, Founder, Makers Bhavan Foundation. Dr. Abhay Jere, Professor Shama Rath, distinguished partners from CRISP, Maker Bhavan Foundation, and also LEAP from IIT Madras. My colleagues from AICTE, faculty members, and students from our engineering colleges nearby, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, happy Engineers Day to all of you. Today, it's really a day of pride and reflection for the engineering community across India. Every year on 15th September, we pay tribute to one of the greatest engineers of this nation has produced, Bharat Ratna Sir M. Vishwesaraya, whose vision, discipline, and dedication continue to inspire generations. His contribution to irrigation systems, flood management, and nation building remind us that engineering is not merely a profession, but a sacred responsibility towards society and humanity. He was also a student of one of our oldest engineering college. Even today it is with us, College of Engineering, Pune, okay, where he did his engineering, civil engineering, the early days. Sir Mokshagundam Visheshwaraya, one of the greatest engineers and visionaries of the country has ever produced, was born in 1861 in the state of Karnataka. Sir Visheshwaraya was a civil engineer known for his pioneering work in irrigation, flood management, and water resources development. Among his most notable achievements includes the design of Krishnarajendra Sagar Dam in Mysuru, and his innovative flood protection system for Hyderabad city is always people remember. He was also a strong advocate of industrialization and education. He was also associated with the Indian Institute of Science, and also he was the Diwan of Mysore, during which time the Mysore kingdom became very industrialized states at that time. Sir M.V. received Bharata Ratna in 1955, one of the earliest, if you can see, in 1955 for his strong contributions for civil engineering and related areas. So Engineers Day, friends, not only commemorates his legacy, but also inspires all the engineers across the nation to contribute the progress and development of the society. Engineers Day is therefore not only a commemoration of his legacy, but a reminder that we must carry forward his spirit of innovation, problem solving, and service to the nation. This year, Engineers Day holds a special significance as we are not celebrating the past, but also shaping the future of engineers in our country. So India is at a decisive juncture in its journey towards becoming Vikasit Bharat by 2047. Our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, very clearly put down plans to become a developed nation by 2047. And all of you have to contribute to make that a goal, a realistic one. Technology, innovation, and human capital will play the most crucial roles in this transformation. Friends, engineers are at the core of this mission, and particularly in the STEM education, where you're all been trying, is also going to be the important one. Yet, as we look at our higher education ecosystem, especially in technical education, we must acknowledge a pressing challenge, that is employability. Despite having one of the largest networks of engineering institutions in the world, only about half of our graduates are considered employable in the modern industry. So it's at high time that we need to increase this gap. This employability gap is more pronounced in rural engineering institutions, where lack of industry linkages, shortage of quality teachers, and outdated pedagogy continue to hold back the immense potential of our youth, even after AICTE announced the model curriculum. Friends, I just actually asked ChatGPT recently a question, how AICTE model curriculum is contemporary and relevant. The answer it gave to me, it is really a contemporary model curriculum, and particularly so in the areas of the semiconductor, quantum, and it has highlighted very explicitly the contribution of developing state-of-the-art curriculum with newer pedagogy, but it has to be penetrated to the rural part of India, particularly rural engineering colleges. So it is against this backdrop that AICTE, along with our partners, has envisioned that today we are launching a transformative new initiative called Project Practice. Practice stands for Project for Advancing Critical Thinking, Industry Connect, and Employability. These are all actually clearly mentioned in National Education Policy 2020. So we are already implementing through many schemes across India and across our institutions. So this is not just a project. This practice project is not just a project. It is a movement to revolutionize technical education in India, especially in rural part of India. Through practice, AICTE in collaboration with CRISP and LEAP and Makersborn Foundation has committed an estimated of 23 crore funds towards strengthening the teaching learning ecosystem. The objective is clear and very ambitious: to double the average employment rate in the participating institutions by 2028. That means we have kept 3 years as our goal to fulfill the employability conditions in India. Practice is built around 3 pillars: pedagogy reforms, faculty development, industry linkages, and mentorship. So the initial focus will be on 1,000 rural and underperforming engineering colleges, including some diploma institutions. These colleges represent the aspirations of over 5 lakh students and 10,000 faculty members. We are fully aware that these institutions often struggle with inadequate infrastructure, insufficient industry collaboration, and limited exposure to emerging technologies. Only 20 to 25% of them currently have meaningful industry linkages. So practice aims to bridge this gap decisively. The implementation framework includes a hub and spoke model with 50 top performing institutions mentoring others. That means we will be taking help of all our IITs, IIITs, NITs, and in making this happen. Training of 10,000 faculty members through immersive 5-day and 10-day programs will be conducted. Establishment of boot camps, innovation labs, and project-based learning modules for students. A 10-day residential innovation program at IIT Jammu to give faculty and students hands-on exposure. Extended internship moving beyond 2-month models to semester-long immersive experiences. So this is a very bold, practical step to reimagine rural engineering education in India. So I would like to thank R. Subramaniam, former secretary, and also CEO CRISP. Alongside practice, today we are all joining hands with Makers Bhavan and LEAP of IIT Madras. So in addition to this, today we are also launching 2 more other major initiatives, which was we started thinking about this a few months back. So that is AICTE Research Internship Portal. We have AICTE Research and Development Cell to strengthen the research culture in our institution. So it is not just for PhDs, it is also for undergraduate students. So what we are planning to do is, so for undergraduate education, creating an environment where students and faculty are solving real problems. So in addition to that, because of the sustainability issues and climate change issues, we are also starting AICTE climate cells, climate cell at every institution to integrate sustainability and climate consciousness into engineering education. India's engineers must be at the forefront in building climate resilient infrastructure, green technologies, and renewable energy solutions across different domains. AICTE Research Internship Portal we are going to launch today to connect students directly with research opportunities across academia, research labs, industries, thereby enhancing their exposure and employability. So we are announcing 50,000 research internship, and it is a paid internship of 10,000 rupees. We pay. These 3 initiatives, practice, R&D cell, and climate cell, together with ARI, form a comprehensive ecosystem of innovation, employability, and sustainability. All these initiatives align strongly with our national priorities and is also part of the National Education Policy 2020. So the Government of India, under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and Honorable Minister of Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, has given us a clear vision through NEP 2020 and Skill India Mission, make education flexible, multidisciplinary, and industry integrated. Also empower our faculty as mentors, promote project-based and experiential learning, align technical education with the future of work in the industry 4.0 and beyond. Friends, AICTE's role is not only to regulate, but also to innovate, support, and handhold institutions. So we are very proud to announce that today we are not just a regulator, we are a facilitator to all our institutions, students, and faculty. So especially this program today, what we are launching is for the rural India to rise the challenge, and practice and the cells we launched today are steps in this direction to make them Atmanirbharata and also start working in a research mode. To the students present here, and those who are joining us online. Today, a large number of them are also joined online across India. It is actually being live YouTube is also going through everywhere. So to all of them, I appeal that and say that you are the future of India. Remember, Vikasit Bharat to happen at 2047, your contribution will be immense. Remember, engineering is not just about clearing exams, and we have transformed that to be, where you will experiential learning and you do project-based learning. So engineering is about problem solving, creating, and serving society. With practice and other schemes, what we have launched today, you will definitely get an opportunity to work on many projects which collaborate with industries and even pursue research internships at premier institutions in our country. So make the most use of these opportunities. For the faculty members who have assembled here, you are the backbone of this transformation, and actually the teaching learning is changing, because we were moving away from now teacher-based education to self-learning, collaborative learning, experiential learning, and project-based learning. So through this, you are now a facilitator. Again, you are going to be a mentor, philosopher, and thinker, just like in our olden times, gurus. So your role is no longer limited to delivering lectures, but to act as mentors, guides, and innovators. Practice will give you that training. That's where I would urge you to take it seriously, and it will expose you, and also it gives you a network to become true catalysts for change. And to our industry partners who are really joined to make this possible, we seek your active collaboration. Employability is not a number, it is a shared responsibility. Together, we must ensure that our students graduate with the skills, confidence, and exposure required for Industry 4.0 and beyond. Also note, AICTE internship portal today has already given more than 75 lakh internships, and it has 75,000 companies on the portal. And some of you, if you did not know, log into AICTE internship portal, make use of the internship possibilities available for all of you. And our AICTE career portal has 7 lakh employers, where you can even build your resumes, understand, and even interview preparation you can take, and also search for jobs and internships. So these two portals are very critical for you. We have also informed all your placement officers about these two. So make use of these two portals, what we have already given it to all of your institution. Friends, this day is a very historic day for all of us at AICTE. On Engineers Day of 2025, we are not just remembering the legacy of Sir MV, but also laying the foundation of a new chapter in Indian engineering education through very practical based courses. Practice will rejuvenate our rural institutions, empower our faculty, and double the employability rates. So particularly the R&D cell will instill a new culture of innovation and research. Friends, the climate cell will also align us with sustainability goals. The ARI portal, the research internship portal, will open doors to research opportunities. Say, I told you internship in industry through AICTE internship portal, but this portal, ARI, will give you research opportunities and through an internship. I am very, very happy, and I will actually also tell you that some of the newer initiative very briefly, which we have taken. Recently, with OpenAI, we have going to distribute 1.5 lakh ChatGPT Go licenses, which are little advanced versions, to all the AICTE institutions at free of cost. And this also will followed by the trainers of the trainer, how to use ChatGPT, not just simply asking some mundane questions. You have to learn how to use this. So through prompt engineering, so that courses are also will be delivered by the experts of OpenAI online to all of you. Watch out and attend those things. So OpenAI Academy along with AICTE will train the trainer programs. No financial burden to any of you. At least for 6 to 7 months, it will be free of cost to you. Along with IBM has donated 20 crore as a CSR grant to AICTE to set up National Artificial Intelligence Lab at the headquarter. That means we will be using our headquarter to set up this. We will train about 50,000 plus students in 3 years using this AI lab, which will be state of the art. And then recently, Perplexity AI, which is again an offshoot of a US-based company, they have offered us 4 million free Perplexity AI Pro licenses, not a ordinary one what you are using on the internet. For AICTE students and faculty, plus training workshops will also be there. That will be delivered again online to all the students. And our own CDAC, Param Shavak machines, which are supercomputers. We are going to deploy 50 indigenous supercomputers in AICTE institutions under National Supercomputing Mission, with training for faculty and co-funding support at our 50 institutions, which are basically Param Shravak machines will be kept there soon. CDAC, I would like to thank CDAC on this time. So together with these collaboration, I think I will see a big change in our institutions. So let us resolve today that by 2028, we will look back at this launch as the turning point that transformed rural technical education in India. On this Engineers Day, let us pledge to live by the values of Sir M.V. Let us empower our students to become the engineers of new India, creative, employable, responsible, and globally competitive. With these words, I once again wish you all a very happy Engineers Day. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much, sir, for this informative address. I hope our students and institutions will avail the benefit of all these AICTE initiatives. And now, the most awaited moment of today's program, the launch of Project Practice, its website, the project for advancing critical thinking, industry connect, and employability is a national level initiative led by AICTE in collaboration with Maker Bhavan Foundation, CRISP CRISP, and LEAP LEAP. I invite our dignitaries to kindly proceed with the launch. I request them to please come in front of the dais for the launch. Maker Bhavan Foundation, MBF, is a non-profit organization founded by Dr. Hemant Kanakia to create world-class maker spaces, supporting innovation and fostering essential employability and soft skills. Center for Research in Schemes and Policies, CRISP CRISP, founded by Shri R. Subramaniam, former Secretary Higher Education, is driving better social sector delivery in the country. And Learn Engineering by Activity with Products, LEAP, is an initiative founded by Professor Tim Gonzalez, former Director IIT Mandi, to institutionalize project-based learning, faculty development, and hands-on product design in engineering education. MBF, CRISP, LEAP will work with AICTE to transform engineering education in 1,000 Tier 2 and Tier 3 colleges across India over 3 years, impacting over 5 lakh students and 10,000 faculty members. A big round of applause for this initiative. Now I request our esteemed dignitaries to launch another important initiative, that is Research and Development Cells and Climate Cells. This initiative aims to set up functional R&D and climate cells in over 6,000 higher educational institutions during the next academic year. A big round of applause. This initiative aims to transform higher educational institutions into lighthouses of knowledge, innovation, and sustainability, supporting the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And now, another important launch, the AICTE Research Internships. Okay. Okay. So I request dignitaries to please take their seats. I would like to inform students about the AICT research internships. These internships are to foster a research-oriented mindset among undergraduates and diploma students. This early exposure of research methodologies will bridge the gap between theoretical learning and practical innovation, cultivating future scientists, innovators, and problem solvers in tech ecosystem. Under this initiative, around 50,000 students every year will get research internship with this stipend of 10,000 per month. So a big round of applause and best wishes to our students. Thank you, dignitaries, for launching these initiatives. I hope these initiatives will prove to be foundational stones for building Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now we have a special message from the most dynamic leader in the transforming India's technical education, I must say India's education landscape, with a strong vision for inclusive, skill-based and future-ready learning, Honorable Minister of Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji. I request our IT team to please play the video message. I request IT team to please replay the video. There is no sound in the video. I request all the students to please maintain the silence. I request the faculty coordinators to please talk to the students and please maintain the decorum of the program. Maybe this video will take some time. Meanwhile, we have been privileged to work under former Secretary Education, Shri R. Subramaniam sir, a visionary leader whose expertise have profoundly transformed social and educational sector in India. His innovative approach to governance, especially in rural development and education, has brought impactful reforms and enhanced transparency. His role in shaping National Education Policy 2020 and modernizing flagship program like Manrega reflects his commitment to inclusive growth and effective public service. His exemplary leadership continues to inspire and set high standards for public administration. Okay. If the technical issue has been resolved, please replay the video of Honorable Minister, sir.
I'm happy to know that today, to mark the Engineers Day, the All India Council for Technical Education is going to launch its visionary initiative to upgrade 1,000 underperforming engineering institutions across the country in collaboration with the Center for Research in Schemes and Policies, LEAP, and IIT Madras Initiative and the Makers Bhavan Foundation. The initiative reflects a deep commitment of the government to ensure an equitable and inclusive access to quality technical education across the country, with the potential to impact more than 5 lakh students and 10,000 faculty members. We all are aware that institutions in smaller cities and rural areas often face challenges related to infrastructure, faculty development, and industry exposure. Through targeted intervention, from curriculum reform to faculty development to industry integration to the adoption of emerging technologies such as AI, robotics, and data science, this initiative aims to transform challenges into opportunities. It aligns perfectly with the vision of National Education Policy 2020, which seeks to create holistic, multidisciplinary, and skilled graduates, leading to emergence of a knowledge society. This effort will not only create jobs but also contributes directly to the development of entrepreneurship and innovation aligned with the vision of a Vikasit Bharat, Swadeshi and self-reliance. I commend AICTE for this strategic focus. I hope that AICTE continues in its efforts to build a robust and inclusive ecosystem for technical education. Together, let us work to shape a future where no talent is left behind and every aspiring engineer has right tools and opportunities to contribute meaningfully to India's growth story. On this Engineers Day, let us reaffirm our commitment to quality, innovation and inclusivity in engineering education. Let us empower every aspiring engineer with the skills, mindset and ecosystem they need to design a Samruddha Bharat. I extend my support to this transformative initiative and wish AICTE and the partner organizations, the participating institutions and above all our students community a great success. Jai Hind. Thank you friends.
We extend our heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Minister for this inspiring message. Now I'll continue with the introduction of Shri R. Subramaniam sir. Sir, your exemplary leadership continues to inspire and set high standards for public administration. I request you to please come forward and share your thoughts with us.
Honorable Secretary, Higher Education, Dr. Vineet Joshi, Chairman of AICTE, Professor Sitaram, a reputed researcher and the person who is come to deliver this address today, Professor Bhandari, Dr. Abhay Jere, Madam Rath, and all the colleges who have come here and the students. Very, very happy Engineers Day to all of you. Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya, the person on whose name Engineers Day is celebrated, is not only a celebrated engineer, but is a personality which has energized the later generations. All of you, the students sitting here, restless, should look at his life to see what is it that you can learn from that. Very importantly, what Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya has done is to bring in a resolution, a firm resolution to make a change. One. And second thing, a creativity to design that. And third thing, a critical thinking to make it happen. So resolution, creativity and critical thinking. Very important attributes that each of the engineering student today sitting in your campuses can learn. So friends, I am, while all the colleges across the country are celebrating the Engineers Day, I congratulate AICTE and his Professor Sitaram and his team for bringing in a slew of schemes, programs, initiatives to support these qualities of critical thinking and creativity, industry connect. So the practice project is primarily meant to build these qualities in the engineering students. Friends, we have done this before. This is not something which has come out completely out of the blue. We have done TechUp 3 and we are now approved the merit project. So, and many such instances have happened in the past. But this project is different in 5 ways from what has happened in the past. We must keep this in view. I'm not talking about the ambition. See, we are talking about 1,000 engineering colleges. In terms of scale, compared to other schemes, this is very big. Okay, so it is ambition. No, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the 5 important things that practice project will tries to bring into the engineering education ecosystem. First thing is, all our projects we have focused on premier institutions. So in fact, we are accused of, or rather criticized, that our focus has been on premier institutions, IITs, and so you gave 60% of your budget to big institutions. We want this particular project focuses on non-premier institutions. That means the institutions which are lying in tier 2, tier 3 towns, which are often neglected. So the focus is on what we call as a non-merit institutions. In all other projects, we say that meritorious institutions will get money. We are saying that here we want to focus on non-meritorious institutions, neglected institutions, weak institutions, and then see how we can promote them. Because there also there are a large number of students studying. And then we want to bring them also into the mainstream. Friends, this is very important because country is talking about a Vikasit Bharat by 2047, and that requires large number of highly technically qualified, motivated, committed manpower or workforce. So every college is important in this journey of building a great nation. So we are focusing on the most unfortunate institutions in terms of getting government grants and then try and bring it up. Second thing is that in most of our projects, we have focused on building institutions. We want to build, the focus in this institution will be on the student. How do we make the student a thinking individual? How do we make the students' learning a practical journey and not a theoretical journey? So the focus is on the student, not as much on the institution. The focus is on the institution only as a conduit, as a person, as an entity which will help this transition of the student. The third thing is, this is inspiration-based project, not infrastructure-based project. In all other projects, we have invested a lot of money on building labs, constructing buildings. Here, we want to inspire the faculty to bring a big change in the classrooms, outside the classrooms. So from infrastructure to inspiration is a very important thing. Fourth thing, friends, is that many of our initiative, many of our students are really good at studying and passing examinations. But when operating with the machines or creating a particular program or a product, that is where we are having a lot of difficulty. So we want to bring that change in the classroom, in the thinking of the student, from a text-based learning to a practice-based learning. So that will be the focus of this project. Lastly, friends, this is not purely a government project. We have Mr. Hemant Kanakia, Professor Timothy Gonzalez, myself, all of us are supporting the government from outside by fully understanding that a transformation in the engineering ecosystem has to be a national effort. It cannot be a governmental effort or a private effort. It has to be a national effort where everybody comes together in order to build this ecosystem afresh. So this is a very collaborative sort of a project. So these 5 things really differentiate this particular project from the others, other initiatives. I'm sure the scale that it is aiming at will require a lot of leadership by the mentor institutions. So we have identified 50 mentor institutions which are already doing well. There are premier institutions. There are some IITs, there are NITs, there are very good private institutions which have set very, very high standards. So we are telling the mentor institutions on this occasion and through this project that it is not sufficient that you set high standards. You have to pull others also along and then help them to sort of let them use your infrastructure, let them be inspired by your work, so that we will do this journey together. So friends, this is how the project will run. It is not my intent to explain the entire project. I'm sure the mentor institutions and the other institutions, which will be the 1,000 institutions, which will be part of this Engineering 1,000 project, as we call it, Engineering 1,000 project. So we'll definitely, we'll be reaching out to them, we'll be working with them, supporting them in all ways, and then take this project forward. I compliment AICTE's team for really, I think Professor Sitaram, Abhay Jere, and Mr. Swami, Siddhalinga Swami, all of them have really put in so much of energy behind this project. I am really thankful to them. Mr. Hemant Kanakia, one of the celebrated, he's a IIT Bombay alumnus, and then settled in US in a very, very high position. So he has actually, although he is doing very well in the US markets, his focus has always been on how to improve the education system in India. So he has committed his personal wealth to support this project. So I really appreciate him and his team and the Maker Bhavan Foundation team, which has actually helping in bringing in funds for this project, along supporting AICTE's sort of a effort, and Professor Timothy Gonzalez, and behind him, a large number of academicians, celebrated engineers have actually come forward, giving their time voluntarily on a service motto in order to bring this change. So it is this spirit of working together without expecting anything except a very, very robust engineering ecosystem and a very, very strong country that this project is moving forward. I wish all of you all the very best, and we'll be there to bring in this change together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing these important initiatives being taken under CRISP under your leadership. Now, I invite Dr. N. Siddhalinga Swami, advisor to AICTE, to share some information about the new initiatives of AICTE.
Good afternoon to one and all. Regarding this important initiatives, already our Honorable Chairman Sir has given some information. So just I will reiterate quickly. I'll finish in 1 minute. The first one is the OpenAI with the AICTE collaboration. So AICTE is signed an MOU with OpenAI India to bring frontier AI tools into the classrooms across the country. Under this partnership, 1.5 lakh free ChatGPT Go Live licenses will be provided to the students and faculty of AICTE affiliated institutions. Here the preference will be given to, once again, the tier 2 and tier 3 institutions preferably, and it doesn't mean that the self-financing institutions will not get, there also will be, but however the tier 2, tier 3 cities will have the importance or the preference. This will going to have an impact of this thing, I mean, almost as sir rightly mentioned, so more than 10 lakh students and also 50,000 faculty members. This is the first one. The second one is IBI AICTE Artificial Intelligence Laboratory. IBM India Private Limited has come forward under their CSR initiative to set up a state-of-the-art AI lab facility in AICTE headquarters with an worth of rupees 20 crore. This lab is going to cater to the requirements of this AI related activities across AICTE approved institutions. In the beginning, it will going to help all the institutions in a cloud-based solution. So later on, AICTE is planning to establish similar kinds of a lab in association with other leading gains. The third one is a Perplexity AICTE partnership. Under this also, AICTE has entered into a partnership with this one, and here also they are going to help 4 million complimentary Perplexity Pro licenses, once again related to AI, will be given, and these licenses also will be shared among the student and faculty members of AICTE approved institutions. The next one is the supercomputer initiative by CDAC, and as sir already mentioned, so 100 supercomputers is going to be given by CDAC, and these computers will going to be distributed across India taking into consideration the geographical distribution also. And here, once again, at least 30 government institutions or universities is going to get the preference as far as this Param computer is concerned. So these are some of the highlighting factors. Apart from that, AICTE is having an MOU with more than 150 different organizations catering to the needs and requirements of the institutions, faculty members, and the students. Through this, on this important occasion of Engineers Day, I request all the students, faculty members, and the institution representatives to make use of all these initiatives which AICTE has initiated in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, Government of India, and also with other leading gains in this country. So with this, I will just close at this point. And for more details, please visit AICTE website. Under collaboration, you will come to know about the different initiatives and also the collaborations with which AICTE is having. Thank you.
Before going for our next initiative, I request all the students to please maintain the silence, because otherwise you will miss some of the important information that is for your only benefit. We have a video message from Dr. Hemant Kanakia. He is a distinguished tech entrepreneur and philanthropist. As a founder and director of the Maker Bhavan Foundation, he champions hands-on learning in institutions, especially in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. An alumnus of IIT Bombay and Stanford University, Dr. Kanakia passionately supports the early stage ventures and policy advancement in India's technology and education sector. I request our IT team to please play the video.
Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Secretary of Higher Education, Shri Vineet Joshi, Professor T.G. Sitaraman, Chairman AICTE, our esteemed guest of honor, Professor R.K. Bhandari, and all other dignitaries present. I am honored to be invited to address this august assembly. I came from a modest family background. My parents dropped out of college after the first year, but they were keen on educating me. I was fortunate to get admitted to IIT. After bachelor's degree at IIT Bombay, I worked briefly at Tata Consultancy Service and then went abroad to get a doctorate in electric engineering at Stanford University, which is based in Silicon Valley of USA. Throughout my studies, I was a good student, innovative in many ways, but my bachelor's education was very theoretical. In fact, until I graduated, I had not built any real engineering system or solved a real-world problem using technology. Upon graduation, I was offered a job at Marvell Technology, which is a large semiconductor company in the Valley, currently with a market cap of $57 billion US. The co-founder and CEO of that company, Sehat Sutreja, interviewed me. In that interview, he credited his success as the founder of Marvell to being a tinkerer at an early age. He was born in Jakarta and was a tinkerer from a very early age. He would build Van de Graaff generators and other devices with spare parts from his parents' auto parts store. By the age 13, he was already a certified radio repair technician, showcasing his innate talent and curiosity. By the time he retired from Marvell, he had accumulated 440 patents. This story made a big impact on me. At that time, I wondered, had I a similar background or similar grounding at early age, where would it taken me? As it turns out, though, I did not do too badly. The idea of an tinkering at an early age is a story you hear often when founders of deep tech companies in USA. Take a look at Jensen Huang, co-founder and CEO of NVIDIA, which is now a $4 trillion semiconductor company, or follow the story of famous Bill Gates of Microsoft. American industrial success of the past era is built on the bedrock created by such founders. After I became a successful entrepreneur, having built 3 companies, one after another in the network equipment space, I started thinking about how to give back to Mother India. After all, the education I received at IITB made me who I am. This desire to give back led me and my friends, IIT batchmates, to create Maker Bhavan Foundation. The foundation established its first Tinkerers Lab at IIT Bombay. Incidentally, this was done in 2014, much before this name was adopted and repurposed by Ministry of Education Secretary to start Atal Tinkering Lab at 10,000 plus high schools. The concept of Tinkerers Lab is a simple one. Provide infrastructure, namely benchtop manufacturing and prototyping equipment, where students can come in with ideas and imagination and use the facility to build working prototypes. The facilities we create are open 24/7, open to any student of the college, and are co-managed by the students. Student enthusiasm we observed at the Tinkerers Lab at the IIT Bombay motivated us to expand to other colleges. The foundation has now built similar facilities at 6 IITs and 15 top-tier private and state-supported colleges. By the end of this year, we would have funded in total such facilities at 34 colleges all across the nation. In the last few years, many independent efforts have been made by private donors and AICTE to create such facilities to develop the culture of making at all types of engineering colleges. We are proud to see that happening. They say that real success is when the others start following the road you blazed. Every year, India graduates over 1 million engineering degree and diploma holders. Thus, we have the numbers. We now have to train these graduates to become world-class. The crucial part of our dream of having a Viksit Bharat by 2047 demands that we have a skilled workforce that can deal with the technologies of the 21st century. We need such a workforce to take a leadership position in the technology development race currently underway among nations of the world. In fact, the recent event suggests that it has become a strategic necessity. I am humbled and happy that Maker Bhavan Foundation is able to cobble together 3 like-minded partners. The organization CRISP, started by Secretary of Higher Education, retired Subramaniam Ji, LEAP, a project inspired and led by Professor Timothy Gonsalves, the founding director of IIT Mandi and retired professor of IIT Madras. Project Practice Partners offers these programs in partnership with the AICTE under the stewardship and the encouragement of Professor T.G. Sitaraman, Chairman AICTE. We are proposing partnership with the AICTE to help conduct programs that will train faculty to deliver education with modern pedagogy, project-based learning, and teach students the art of innovation. In addition, we shall provide online modules to teach students necessary soft skills such as communications, financial literacy, critical thinking, and problem solving. We shall also facilitate industry connections to senior students for providing real-world problems to work on and offer a semester-long internship to deserving students. We find that all these skills would allow students to have better opportunities upon graduation. They would either do a manufacturing startup or join companies that do world-class engineering. The faculty training for teaching the art of innovation proposed is hosted at IIT Jammu and taught by IIT Jammu faculty. The programs mentioned above are to be carried out with the help of 50 mentor institutions and academic mentors who shall cover 1,000 engineering colleges across the nation. In the conclusion, I am again drawn to say that the dynamism that I'm observing among all stakeholders of higher education has emboldened me to predict an amazingly bright future for India. And our foundation will strive to do our best to help realize that dream.
Thank you, sir, for this video message. Now it's time to invite today's guest of honor, Dr. Rajendra Kumar Bhandari, former CSIR head, International Division, and an internationally acclaimed expert in disaster mitigation and management. Dr. Bhandari is the only Indian recipient of prestigious Vance Medal, a UNESCO award, and the Subhash Chandra Bose Apada Prabandhan Award, that is India's highest civilian honor in disaster management. Dr. Bhandari's work has laid the foundation for modern disaster preparedness and geotechnical innovation in India and beyond. I now invite Sir to kindly share his words of wisdom with us.
Good afternoon, everybody. Professor Dr. Vineet Joshi, Chief Guest of the Day. Professor Sitaram, Chairman AICTE. Dr. Abhay Jaram, Professor Shyama Rath, Dr. R. Subramaniam, Dr. Hemant Kankia, faculty members, dear students, fellow engineers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My Engineering Day greeting to all of you. I don't have to say this, that is a very big day in the life of and journey of the engineers in this country since 1968, when this award was instituted in honor of Bharat Ratna Sir Moksivandam Visvesvaraya. We celebrate this as a mark of gratitude to the father of Indian engineering. We recall on this day with admiration and pride the yeoman service done not only by him, but the engineers he inspired through generations. We recall the huge contributions made by engineers in the recent years, and I would refer you all to a recent publication, 2 years back, Indian National Academy of Engineering. They have published a document on landmark achievements in engineering and technology in independent India. So we have fabulous documentation on this. We need more of it. And it's time to deliberate and discuss and work our way forward. Celebrating Engineers Day with the launch of the project practice is indeed a visionary move. Like an icing on the cake, it's a spark that brightens the whole celebration today. Aiming at transforming 1,000 rural engineering colleges, benefiting 10,000 faculty members plus 5 lakh students is a music to the ears. And all this is not just in numbers, it is going to have a snowballing effect. I congratulate the collaborating partners for joining hands with AICTE in this adventure. In advancing critical thinking, industry connect, and employability. Ladies and gentlemen, these are very different times. I have been participating in Engineering Day celebrations since it was instituted and many times over. But I see a huge difference now and then. Our national ambitions are skyrocketing as we dream of Viksit Bharat 2047. We meet many more Visvesvaraya to face new challenges of unprecedented nature. The list is very long. By 2050, half of India will live in cities. Urbanization, housing, water, energy, environment, and sustainability issues will continue to top our national agenda. Climate change, resource constraints, rapid technological shifts will test the limits of our courage and creativity. We need vision and innovating governance models, and these are not small expectations because we need them with heightened ethical standards and accountability to deliver what we expect to deliver. Unemployment, ladies and gentlemen, and underemployment issues will continue to haunt our imagination. Mind-blowing power of technology and AI is emerging both as a blessing and a curse. We have to deal with this double-edged sword very, very carefully. Viewed in this context, practice you launch today becomes not only a project, but a promise to the nation. And promise to equip students and institutions with critical thinking, industry readiness, and employment skills is going to be a daunting challenge. Let me highlight a few critical aspects. Job-starved graduates are forced into taking jobs below their potential. I have a very large number of my students. I see their potential. I have the personal knowledge of it, and they deserve much better than what we are able to give them today. What ought to be our strategy to face this dilemma? Should we prepare engineers for their first job or for their last job? This has been a subject of debate for quite some time. Should we face the change? And when we look at this tremendous speed and dynamics of change, no single skill can last a lifetime. We must teach adaptability, innovation, and leadership. So this is a very big, big challenge. Mark Twain had said, interestingly, that training is everything. Peaches were once bitter almonds, and cauliflower is nothing but cabbage after college education. So this is the power of training that we have to look into. How sound, holistic, and transparent and objective are our monitoring and evaluation systems? This is going to be very important. We are going to face this problem of recruitment, performance evaluation, promotion, harnessing the potential of human resource. Everywhere there has to be sound, holistic, transparent, and objective systems. What is our game plan for creating an army of good teachers? Investment in their training, their dignity, and growth in a non-negotiable manner. And also, how do we close the gap between the scientific and operating temper? As an engineer, I personally experienced that when we teach in the classroom and what we practice in the field, there's a huge hiatus between the two. And that must be closed because our ultimate results and the proof of the pudding in the eating, we can do wonderful things in the lab, we can score highest marks with merit and so on, but unless we can deliver in the field, all that education would not help. Practice has the potential to institutionalize this spirit. Allow me to share a few takeaways. As Elon Musk has said, engineering is the closest thing to magic that exists in the world. It is our hope for the future. And that hope brings responsibility, huge responsibility, and we should be prepared for greater accountability in the years ahead. In engineering, as in life, failure is greatest of the teachers. So we should not shy away from this. When we learn, certainly there will be failures, but then there should be humility and curiosity to learn from failures. An engineer who does not observe and learn from failures is like a soldier who does not fight the war for which he was trained. And this, why I'm emphasizing this is that all that you see today are the silver lining in our education are as a result of failures which were faced by our predecessors, and then they built on those. Finally, in this, I would say that practice of engineering and innovation without morality is a sin. And so we have to bring a higher component of ethics, morality, and integrity, transparency in our system. Sir Vishwesvaraya said, work is worship, work is duty, work is life. And this would be greatest tribute to him if we not only go through these words again and again, but try to imbibe them in our daily routine. Friends, the beauty of engineering lies not in theories, but in practical action that touches lives and ensures last mile delivery. I have the pleasure and privilege of being present when the Secretary Education is here. And sir, I would like to end by recounting a personal experience that I had. It was 1986. Shri Narasimha Rao ji was the Minister of Human Resource Development. Anil Bordia ji was the Secretary Education at that time. And Narasimha Rao ji came to IIT Roorkee, at that time University of Roorkee, to deliver a convocation address. In his convocation address, he said, engineers, he didn't like the way engineers practice their engineering. He said, we build houses and buildings which are refrigerators in winter and ovens in summer. Now, when he said this, I got very enthused and I wanted to have a conversation with him. And fortunately, I had a chance in Vice Chancellor's lunch. I told him, sir, I am an engineer and I own this responsibility. And we feel very sorry that we have such impression coming from Honorable Minister like you. But may I ask you whether you have found any solution to this? And then he looked at me and he said, who are you, gentlemen? And what do you have to say? So I told him, I said, I am looking after an institution only a few yards away from here. And that is the Central Building Research Institute. The government of India has invested a huge amount of money in creating a capacity where under one roof, we have everything right from the foundation, materials, building comfort, fire research, everything like that. But unfortunately, the government doesn't give us the opportunity to prove ourselves. So he said, what are you doing tomorrow in the morning? Can you see me at my residence in Delhi? And I drove from Roorkee to Delhi to meet him at his residence. And he then told me that there is a Navodaya Vidyalaya project of the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. And would you consider taking this up and proving yourself of what you said to me? And then he said that before you say yes or no, I want to tell you that you are going to mount a tiger. If you say yes, without thinking much, there was no time and I was actually overwhelmed by the question. So I said, yes, I am willing to mount a tiger. The project was given to us under fierce opposition from CPWD and all that. And why I say, sir, this is that when purpose meets opportunity, even a chance encounter can shape the history of institutions. So that one thing which was there actually transformed the whole thing, and we got the highest support from the bureaucracy. Great opportunities are often born of small moments. I want to tell my young friends that there's nothing small in this country. Small things make perfection, but perfection is not a small thing. So great opportunities are often born of small moments of courage and conviction. You will have to be more courageous to take these challenges. With the routine, I don't think that we will be able to make a success of the project. But if you have the courage, I'm sure that you will deliver it. A single idea, when nurtured with vision, can ignite movement that transforms the nation. So believe me, when you take plunge into something, you are not alone. This country has enormous capacity, many institutions built there, and you will find that unexpectedly will get support from all directions. But all that you have to have is the focus and courage and commitment to deliver. Ideals are like stars. You will not succeed in touching them with your hands, but like seafaring men on the ocean desert of waters, you choose them as your guide, and following them, you reach the destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, I would not like to go on more, but end up by saying that failure and success seem to have been allotted to men by their stars, but they retain their power of wriggling, of fighting with the stars, and in the whole universe, the only interesting movement that I found is this wriggling. So when I was actually unfortunately caught in a enormous problem in Iraq during the war time, and I was frustrated. I met a Nobel laureate he was a visitor, and then I put my problem to him, and he wrote on my autograph book, "Keep trying." And that is what I'm going to tell you, that please keep trying. You will always succeed. May practice truly live up to the name, preparing our youth to shape a brighter, more secure and human future. I once again congratulate AICTE for this very timely initiative and wish them all the best. Thank you.
Thank you for such an inspiring address, sir. We are blessed to be mentored by Dr. Vineet Joshi, Secretary Higher Education, Ministry of Education, Government of India. A rare blend of administrative excellence and visionary thinking, he has played a pivotal role in shaping policies that emphasize quality, transparency, and innovation in education. His leadership as institutions like CBSE, NTA, and now as Secretary Higher Education reflects his focus on improving quality, strengthening regulatory framework, and enhancing national testing and evaluation mechanisms. Dr. Joshi's blend of technical acumen, administrative experience, and reform-oriented mindset makes him uniquely positioned to steer India towards a more inclusive, research-driven, and globally competitive higher education ecosystem. I request sir to bless us with his words of wisdom.
Thank you very much, and a very good afternoon to all of you. Distinguished guests on the dais, Shri R. Subramaniam sir, former Secretary Higher Education, Professor R.K. Bhandari, Professor Sitaram, Dr. Abhay Jere, Professor Shama Rath, senior colleagues, faculty members, and my dear students. A very good afternoon and a very happy Engineers Day to all of you. I also join everybody in paying tributes to Bharat Ratna Shri M. Visvesvaraya, whose engineering genius and administrative vision has transformed, as you know, the water management and industrialization in our country. And we have to learn a lot from his life. We have heard a lot about his contributions, so I'm not going to go into that. While sitting here, was reflecting my own journey while I was in the engineering college. And what I remember the most was that it gives you an opportunity to make mistakes again, and learn from them. I remember when I went in the first semester, nothing would work. Anything which was practical was not working, in the sense that whether it was practical of physics or a titration in chemistry or engineering design, taking different views, top view, front view, side views, nothing would work for me. But these difficulties, these mistakes which I used to make then, it enabled me to A, accept the mistakes, look what the mistakes were, ask your peers, where did I went wrong, and learn and move on. Friends, all of us know that in our lives, it is more failures than the successes that we encounter. And if we have not learned how to learn from our failures, it will be very difficult for us to get the success. And it becomes all the more important in today's world when, due to the geopolitical reasons, we are living in an environment which is changing rapidly. It is extremely difficult to predict what is going to happen in future. And therefore, all the students have to be continuously learning, unlearning, and relearning. And unless we have mastered this art, I think it's going to be extremely difficult for all of us to live in the future. The things are happening in the world for which many a times we are not responsible. Yet we are to face those things. We have to make our living out of it. How do we do this? And I think that is what we get to know in our engineering colleges. And I think all of us who have had engineering education or who are currently in engineering colleges are extremely lucky to get that environment right from the day one. So my dear students, think that you are extremely lucky, and in that sense, make the best of every moment that you are getting inside the classroom. You may be getting bored many a times by doing assignments. Sometimes many of you would be bothered about not getting full marks. Many of you would be bothered about not being able to complete your homework or assignment, or not doing well in your quizzes or in the examinations, in the end term examinations. Many of you would be bothered as to what you would be doing once you are passing out of your colleges. You might not be knowing that, you might be thinking that the opportunities are limited because you may not know what is the world of opportunity lying for you. Friends, in the current Indian context, after the NEP has been brought, in which my distinguished senior, Mr. Subramaniam, had a great role to play, it gives you immense opportunities. You can do anything that you feel like. A person who has entered into mechanical engineering need not limit himself or herself to mechanical engineering only. If you feel that you are not fit for it, somehow you feel that your passion lies somewhere else, you could do that today, which was not possible before the NEP was there. All the regulators, be it UGC, be it AICTE, everybody has accepted this. They have come up with different frameworks, and they are constantly facilitating. So therefore, today's word gives you an opportunity. Don't follow the old path, and in that, many a times you will be knowing more than your teachers know. Talk to your teachers, work together with them as to how do you work in the current environment. I am extremely happy today that Professor Sitaram told that open AI licenses and Perplexity AI licenses are being given free of cost to the students and the teachers. It is going to make, yes, assignment work very simple, very easy. But at the same time, you would have to create a value out of it. Please see to it that the assignment which you were either copying from your neighbor or you were taking a lot of time to do for yourself, if it is being done by Chat GPT or any other thing, any other AI tool for you, how are you going to learn? It is somewhere, as Professor Bhandari said, it's a double-edged weapon. You will have to use it very carefully. Don't only think of yourself, think of the society around you. As I say this today, you might feel that it is a cliche that I am saying that we've got to take care of our society. But please think of the individuals who are not so lucky to get into the engineering education. You have to think for them also. Because if everybody starts thinking for oneself, then we will not be able to make this country. In this context, I would like to discuss with you very briefly my recent experience in Manipur when I was there about 7 months back. On the borders of the country near Myanmar, I met a number of engineers who were deployed in making this fencing between India and Myanmar. All those people, they had not studied from IITs or IISc. They had studied from the engineering colleges from B and C type of cities. They were giving their life, they had left their family back in making us safe so that the infiltration could not happen from across the country. Similarly, when this Operation Sindoor happened, drone was developed by many of our indigenous engineers who came from the colleges like yours only. So you can definitely do a lot, and you have got to realize that this is once in lifetime opportunity. As far as the government of India is concerned, there are many interesting things, initiatives which the government has taken. One of the initiatives is starting this Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak scheme. In this, the government is now ensuring that everybody who is in the higher education, including the school education also, will be able to learn in his or her own language. So that this language barrier which used to exist when, let's say, a person like me who had studied in Hindi medium, when I entered into Indian Institute of Technology, there was a great barrier of language. You had to not only overcome this barrier of language, you had to also learn the things which were taught in the engineering colleges. So now with this initiative, this barrier is going to be broken. In this, I request all of you to get in touch with your professors, that those of you who feel that your professors are extremely good in mechanical engineering, maybe thermodynamics, maybe design, or some other field, you advise them, you go to them, and you request them to come forward and take part in the initiative of Bharati Bhasha Pustak scheme, because we have to create about 1 lakh plus books in 1 year. We have a target of creating about 3 lakh books in the coming 3 years. Similarly, there is an initiative which is under finalization called PMRF, Prime Minister's Research Fellow. It invites those of you who have interest in research to come forward and undertake research in the areas which are going to lead this country forward. Similarly, there are centers of excellence for AI in education, AI in health, AI in sustainable cities. Those of you who have interest, please get in touch with your teachers so that they could find out and connect you to the institutions who are leading these initiatives of the government of India. We have seen, friends, in recent past that this Chenab rail bridge, which was completely made in India. In fact, Professor T.G. Sitaram is one of the distinguished designers of that bridge. So these things are possible. Similarly, we had never heard that the train, in fact, when I started working in the state of Manipur, it was impossible to think that the railway line would reach to the state of Manipur. But few days back only, we have seen the railway line reaching not only up to Manipur, but it has also reached up to Mizoram. So these are the engineering marvels which have been created by our own engineers. I therefore exhort all of you to realize that on this Engineers Day, we take this pledge that we will do our bit to do our work to make this country proud, and all of us will work together in that direction. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir, for the profound address. Indeed, your inspiring words are resonated by a famous Japanese filmmaker, Hayao Miyazaki. He said, "Engineers turn dreams into reality." Moving to the finale of today's event, Professor Shama Rath, who has recently joined as the member secretary AICTE, is a distinguished physicist and academician with over 3 decades of excellence in teaching, research, and leadership. Professor Rath has led with wisdom from coordinating internal quality assurance and accreditation to support women in STEM and enhancing international exposure for students. With a rare combination of scientific rigor, global outlook, and passion for inclusive education, she is poised to drive AICTE's mission of elevating technical education across India to new heights. I request our member secretary, Professor Shama Rath to deliver concluding remarks and vote of thanks. Ma'am.
Thank you. As we come to the end of this session, मुझे पता है स्टूडेंट्स के लिए ये सबसे मज़ेदार पार्ट है, लेक्चर का एंड है एंड अभी खाने का टाइम है तो I know that you're all hungry and you don't want to listen to me anymore. But anyway, I will take this opportunity to thank all our esteemed dignitaries on the dais and all those who have joined us online. Your gracious presence has added much value to this event. As we have witnessed today, our dignitaries are indeed visionaries who are clearly thinking about the future of our young population and of our nation. Our chief guest, Dr. Vineet Joshi, as you have heard by now, is a mechanical engineer by training. Sir is always firefighting with his numerous responsibilities, and therefore we are especially grateful that you chose to be with us today. He shared a lot of personal experiences, and while I was listening to him, I thought that this resonates with what many of us have gone through in our journey, in our professional journey, and faced challenges. So I was really happy that he shared his experiences with us. And so your perspectives will undoubtedly motivate us and our audience to work with utmost sincerity. I express my deep appreciation to the architects of project practice, Shri R. Subramaniam, CEO, CRISP, Dr. Hemant Kanakia, founder, Maker Bhavan Foundation, and Professor Gonzalez of LEAP. Your mission and action plan for enhancing employability in institutions which face challenges on various fronts is indeed the need of the hour. Thank you for bringing this proposal. We look forward to being guided by your wisdom. It is an honor to have Professor R.K. Bhandari, who brings immense value with his long experience on product-driven research in CSIR. So we feel privileged to have you with us today. We got many insights from your inspiring address and the way you have handled very different situations. I'm grateful to the AICTE leadership, our chairman, Professor Sitaram, and Vice Chairman, Professor Jere, for the sound leadership and being totally hands-on. Their able guidance have ensured AICTE's continued commitment to making technical education more inclusive, accessible, and future-ready. We are delighted to have such large participation from faculty and students from so many institutions. Your enthusiasm energizes us to take this initiative forward with full fervor. And here I would like to urge you to identify challenges in your own communities. It can be even within your own college or institution. These can be simple things like how you will handle waste management, or it can be interventions for persons with disabilities. It can be efficient administrative processes or energy efficiency. For example, today not only today, but generally we are hearing a lot about AI interventions. Now we all know that AI has many advantages, but at the same time, the data centers, what is the kind of energy conservation, energy consumption? How you can contribute as an engineer to the energy efficiency? So यहाँ पे शायद आपके thermodynamics and everything else that you learn in your courses will be useful. And even while we speak of AI, I'm not an engineer, I'm a scientist. And that's why I will also encourage you to read physics and maths, because you've heard NVIDIA CEO, you've also heard Signal K and OpenAI, all of them have stressed the need of learning physics and maths for AI. An event of this scale would not have been possible without the commitment of all my colleagues in AICTE, whose tireless efforts and meticulous planning have ensured the smooth conduct of today's program. Dr. Swami has taken the lead in organizing this event, and I must acknowledge the excellent teamwork by the AICTE family. I'm deeply grateful to each one of you. So on this Engineers Day, as we pay tribute to the great visionary Ratna M. Vishweshwarya, we are reminded to dedicate ourselves to nation building through innovation, technology, and engineering. Let us pledge to work collectively and take forward the vision of our government and our leadership for a Viksit Bharat at 2047. Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We all indeed believe engineering is not just a degree, it is a mindset that finds a solution in every challenge. I request everybody to kindly rise for national anthem. And there is an announcement also before we. All students and faculty invitees are requested to go. Thank you. All students and faculty invitees are requested to go for lunch behind the guest house in the pandal. All dignitaries from MOE, CRISP and CSIR may join in the guest house for lunch. Thank you, everyone.